It was the early morning hours during a day in April of 2025 when the Houthis attacked the wrong aircraft carrier and they immediately regretted it. The USS Harry S. Truman was operating in the Red Sea, targeting the Houthi rebels. The Houthis had been assaulting ships for over a decade, and now it was time for them to pay. The Houthis wanted a propaganda victory, and a large victory against a carrier strike group would definitely be a win and a notch in their belt. Destroying the Harry S. Truman became the apple of their eye. So on this morning, they launched low-flying missiles and drones, including ballistic missiles and advanced drones sent to them from Iran. As these drones launched, alarm bells went off inside the Harry S. Truman and the Carrier S. Strike Group as crews manned their battle stations. Even though it was shift change and the Houthis had strategically targeted the Carrier Strike Group during the shift change, the outer net of air defenses was already airborne. The E-2C Hawkeye was the eyes in the sky and served as an angel upon high, looking over its tribe. The EA-18G Growlers were alongside the E-2C Hawkeye, and these were airborne to jam incoming missiles and drones. F-18Es and Fs, single-seat strike fighters and air superiority fighters, along with dual-seat strike fighters, sprang to life and launched from the carrier in preparation to shoot down these drones as a mainstay of the outer net of protection for the Carrier Strike Group. Meanwhile, Houthi command centers deep inside the mountains of Yemen were watching this attack closely. They knew this was their one opportunity to get a hit on the biggest target in the entire world. The Houthis utilize mountain regions in Yemen for command centers, particularly in and around Sanaz and Sahada, where they have constructed underground bases, tunnels, and fortifications within and beneath the mountains. These facilities often repurpose existing military infrastructure like weapons depots. The Houthis have also constructed new, larger shelters and fortifications in areas like the Nakam mountain range. Satellite imagery and open source intelligence have revealed these developments, and it's said that the Houthis have gotten a lot of these plans from Iran, as Iran has underground military bases where they house sensitive military equipment like their fighter jets. These underground command centers have established extensive networks of underground command centers which they can control radar operations as well as launch facilities, weapon storage, and other military infrastructure within the mountains. And these are in very strategic locations in Yemen. These underground command centers are strategically located in places where they are very hard to target and where satellite detection can actually be limited as well. And that's limited because of that extensive mountainous terrain. The Houthis take advantage of the rugged mountainous terrain to create difficult to access and defend command centers. They've taken a note from North Korea as well, with certain launch facilities being hidden within mountains. And to access these sensitive underground facilities, the Houthis have constructed secondary roads that are not connected to known roads and are not displayed on any known maps. So Houthi commanders within these centers watched patiently as these drones and cruise missiles sprang to life. And this wasn't just a random one-off attack. It was a coordinated strike with different command centers using nodes to talk to each other using the following missiles and drones. The Shahed 136 sprang to life and made its way towards the Carrier Strike Group. The Noor missile also launched, along with the Fatah 313, the most advanced missile held by the Houthis. This was going to be no easy day. And these assets have an origin of Iran, as Iran smuggles in this sophisticated military equipment from southern Iran to the Yemeni coast in the Red Sea. Coast Guard ships have been positioned to try to intercept these shipments, but some still get through. The shipments leave southern Iran, pass through the Indian Ocean, then into the Gulf of Aden, where then they make their way to southern Yemen. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard is essentially the special forces of Iran, and they facilitate these shipments by disguising the shipments as merchant vessels. Nothing to see here, just a shipment of oil. Meanwhile, that oil tanker is loaded down with Noor missiles and Fatah 313s headed for the command centers in Yemen. But as these commanders watch these missiles and drones fly towards their target, they know the Harry S. Truman is the apple of their eye. This is the attack they thought that would seal the deal and take down the most powerful warship on the planet. And aboard the Harry S. Truman, radar operators confirm what those commanders in Yemen just launched: 8 ballistic missiles, 12 Shahed 136 drones, and 8 slow-flying drones for a total of 28 incoming targets towards the carrier. But this just wasn't some random one-off attack. It turns out that this attack was retaliation for the weeks-long campaign against the Houthi rebels themselves. Just a week prior, the Carrier Strike Group had targeted a Houthi weapons facility and destroyed dozens of cruise missiles and Shahed-class drone production centers. The Houthis wanted revenge, but they also wanted the headline, Houthis take down U.S. aircraft carrier, or Houthis hit U.S. carrier and disable air power in the Red Sea. This would be a propaganda victory and would make their suppliers and financiers in Iran especially proud, and it would likely boost the recruitment cause for the Houthis. And the Houthis didn't just target the Harry S. Truman. Other ships in the Carrier Strike Group were targeted as well. 2 Ticonderoga cruisers were targeted. These ships are multi-mission air warfare, undersea warfare, naval surface fire support, and surface warfare surface combatants capable of supporting carrier battle groups, amphibious forces, or operating independently as flagships of surface action groups. Cruisers are equipped with Tomahawk cruise missiles, giving them additional long-range strike warfare capability. Some Aegis cruisers have been outfitted with a ballistic missile defense capability as well. And the technology behind these cruisers is especially exceptional. Technological advances in the Standard Missile, coupled with the Aegis combat system in the Ticonderoga class cruisers, have increased the anti-air warfare capability of surface combatants to pinpoint accuracy from wave top to the top of the sky. This means that these Aegis combat systems are essentially the conductor of the orchestra, and they were hard at work at the forefront of this entire battle. And this Aegis system is designed to be a centralized, automated command and control and weapon control system designed to detect, track, and engage threats, primarily air and missile threats. The Aegis system is a key component of the Arleigh Burke-class destroyers and other naval vessels. And the 2 destroyers in this Carrier Strike Group were no exception. They're warships that provide multi-mission offensive and defensive capabilities. Destroyers can operate independently or as part of a Carrier Strike Group, Surface Action Group, and Expeditionary Strike Groups. Its features are guided missile systems that are multi-mission capable. They're capable of conducting anti-air warfare, anti-submarine warfare, and anti-surface warfare. The destroyer's armament has greatly expanded the role of the ship in strike warfare, utilizing the Mk-41 vertical launch system and beginning with ships equipped with Aegis Baseline 9 ballistic missile defense systems. The armament aboard these ships are nothing to mess with, including the Standard Missile family, the vertical launch ASROC VLA missile, Tomahawk, 6 Mk-46 torpedoes, close-in weapon systems, the Seawix Phalanx, the Mk-45 gun, and, most impressively, the evolved Sea Sparrow missile, the ESSM, which is especially capable of targeting these incoming threats that are flying incredibly low just above the wave height. But today the Houthis are getting even trickier. They're also targeting a logistics ship that is bringing fuel and other supplies to restock the carrier. This just shows that the Houthi attacks are getting more precise, and it's said a lot of the intelligence that the Houthis are using in advanced attacks like this are actually coming from Iranian and potentially Chinese sources. So the Houthis are trying to take down a giant with 100 projectiles, like if David in David vs. Goliath had 1,000 rocks in one slingshot. But as we just discussed, this carrier wasn't alone. It was an integral part of a defense network in the Carrier Strike Group, and that defense network sprang to life. The sailors in the Carrier Strike Group have been battle-hardened by weeks of conflict in the Red Sea. This is the most sustained combat operations for the U.S. Navy in decades. So training took over as the sailors began to plink off the projectiles being fired at them. The EA-18Gs flooded the airways with jamming signals that jammed every enemy bandwidth within 100 miles, disabling the connection from the drones being targeted from the enemy command posts deep within the Yemeni mountains. The Growlers also fried the internal navigation system on the fire and forget drones that were fired from those command centers. And then SM-2 missiles and advanced Sea Sparrow missiles from the vertical launch systems within the destroyers sprang to life, honing in on any enemy weapon that wasn't immediately jammed off course by the Growlers. Everyone inside the Carrier Strike Group moved with extreme precision. They went from defense to offense, and it's like they had done this 1,000 times. Because they had. And like they say, the best defense is a good offense. And the Harry S. Truman created the best offense that has been seen by the Navy in decades. Specifically, the ESSM, the evolved Sea Sparrow missiles, sprang to life and went after the low-flying targets. These Sea Sparrows flew towards their target in formation like they had done this 1,000 times as well. This is their bread and butter, and it's exactly what they were made for. Seaweed's phalanx turrets came to life like a spinning carousel of death, taking down the low-flying drones that happened to get close in towards the carrier. Seaweed's turrets came to life. The Seaweed's phalanx spun like a spinning carousel of death, taking down the low-flying drones and turning them into shredded metal that fell harmlessly into the ocean. The entire team of the Carrier Strike Group was hard at work, and the Aegis was at the forefront. That system had created a net, an outer, middle, and inner net that targeted all 28 of these nefarious targets being sent from the Yemeni mountains. So what do you think helped the Navy make this a successful defense of the Carrier Strike Group and another loss for the Houthi rebels? Max Afterburner here. Thanks so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you. Please comment below. Oh, and subscribe to the channel. That way we can get the channel to grow and I can do videos like this for you essentially every day. And the biggest compliment you can give me really is to watch another video that'll pop up right now. Thanks for watching that video. This is Max Afterburner signing off. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you on that next video.